So in this video we are going to see the virtual functions. It is very important feature of the object-oriented programming, and also it is very easy. Okay, probably you are going to see these functions in the big projects that is using huge algorithm behind them. Okay, so what is virtual function? A virtual function is a function in a base class that is declared using the keyword virtual. Okay, it is very important for you to remember that it is needed to be written in the base class function. Okay, so that we can say that virtual function is a function in a base class to override the derived function. Okay, and it is called the dynamic linkage or late binding. Okay, let's sum this up. If there are member functions with same name in the base class and derived class, virtual functions gives programmer capability to call member function of different class by a same function call depending upon different context. Okay, this feature in C++ programming is known as polymorphism, which is one of the important features of object-oriented programming. If a base class and derived class has the same function, and if you write code to access that function using pointer of a base class, then the function in a base class is executed even if the object of derived class is referenced with that pointer variable. Okay, so let's see this in the example. We are going to use the same example that we have written in the function overriding. Okay, so in this example we have one class that is named as base, and in this base class we have one public member function that is named as display, and the only functionality is printing you are in the base class text line into the screen. Okay, so after that we have one derived class which is named as derived from the publicly of the base class. Okay, so in this derived class we have public member function that is named as display, and this function is same as the base class's function. Okay, also this derived class function is printing something to the screen, and this something is you are in the derived class. Okay, so in here we created our objects directly from the classes, but there's a different type of creation that we can use, and it is having the help from the pointers. Okay, so I'm going to delete these for a second. Okay, so in here I'm going to firstly create my derived classes object. Okay, so I'm typing derived D. Okay, so we have object D that is created from the derived class. Okay, so after I'm going to create our base classes objects, and that is going to be named as B. Okay, the only difference is we are going to use pointer to create it. Okay, so I'm typing base, and to help from the pointers I'm typing the star. Okay, and after that the object name is B. Okay, so in this base object we need to point something. Since we use the pointers, okay, we need to point something, and this something must be the address. Okay, this object pointer needs to be point and address. Okay, so I'm giving the D object's address to it. Okay, so my base classes B object is going to point the derived classes D object's address. Okay, so that we are going to know that this is also going to be have an address. Okay, so in here we are going to use the display function. Okay, so I'm typing B. Okay, so in here you will know that since we use the pointers, we cannot use the dot operator. Okay, so we need to use arrow operator. So I'm typing arrow. Okay, and then we are able to see our display function. Okay, so as you see here, this display function is coming from the base class. Okay, so I'm typing base B arrow display. Okay, so when I hit the run, we are going to see that in a second, compiling, and yeah, so you are in the base class. Okay, so we created our derived classes object from the derived class that named as D, and we created our B object with the help of pointers from the class of base. Okay, and we gave the address of the D object, and we use the base classes display function. Okay, so let's assume that we need to use the derived classes display function. Okay, so but I don't want to create any other thing. I don't want to change the any derived classes dObjects thing. Okay, so the only thing that we are going to do is putting virtual keyword into the base classes display function. Okay, so in here I'm going to type virtual, okay, and space, and when I hit the run, and after compiling, yeah, we are able to see that we are using the derived classes display function. Okay, because the screen is saying that you are in the derived class. Okay, which means that we use the derived classes display function. Okay, so virtual functions is very easy, and you will get used to it after writing some of them. Okay, so after writing a few functions, a few virtual functions, you are going to get used to it. Okay, so see you in the next lecture.